The Physical Swordmaster is a fast-paced melee class with flashy combos and satisfying skills. He's quick, powerful, and incredibly fun to play, but mastering him takes real skill. What's up guys, Zen here, and today we're diving deep into everything you need to know about building a Physical Swordmaster in Dragon SC Classic. From gear and suffixes to heraldries and skill builds, this is your complete guide to optimizing your character. Before we go ahead, let's quickly talk about the Swordmaster's role in the current meta. He is not the strongest DPS in the game, but do not count him out in your parties. He sits right in the sweet spot, not overpowered but consistent and reliable. If you know your combos and position well, he can dish out steady damage and carry his weight in any party. And here's the best part, at level 50, Physical Swordmaster specializes into the Gladiator, gaining access to a skill called Finish Attack, one of the most in-demand burst skills in raid content. So yes, investing in this class will pay off, especially if you're eyeing future nest clears. Let's first talk about the equipment. The epic grade set that you should start with is the Manticore set, since the set bonus gives you physical attack power and it has become cheaper since the release of Sea Dragon S. Once you have a decent Manticore set, ideally with plus 10 armors and weapons, you should be able to start looking for parties to enter the Sea Dragon Nest and farm for your Sea Dragon equipment. If you plan to further upgrade the Manticore set, I recommend starting with the Sea Dragon Sword and Gauntlet, since the enhancements and evolution will consume a lot of gold, and upgrading to a full Sea Dragon set will require intense gold farming. However, if you plan to skip the Sea Dragon equipment altogether, you can further upgrade your Manticore armor and weapon to enhancement level 12, where I recommend buying from the trading house directly, as the prices are becoming cheaper and cheaper over time, and you will be able to save up your jellies and jewels for the next level 50 cap. Now for these next few sections on the accessories, suffixes, potentials, and heraldries you should equip for your Physical Swordmasters, there will be two options for you to choose from. The first being the budget build, which is recommended for F2Ps and low spenders, and the other one is the whale build, which will require you to spend money in-game. The budget build will focus on getting critical from your accessories and suffixes and sacrifice some attack power, while the whale build will focus on getting crit from potentials and heraldries, which can get very expensive but rewards you with higher DPS. With that in mind, let's now talk about the accessories choices. For the budget build accessories, you can go for the Wind Sylvie necklace, focusing solely on AGI and STR stats, the Wind Sylvie earrings, also focusing AGI and STR stats, and pairing with two Fatal Sylvie rings. This combination maximizes your AGI stat and critical values to make sure you hit the soft critical cap of 68%. For the whale build accessories, you will focus instead on the STR stat, where you can buy the Bear Sylvie Ana necklace, focusing solely STR and AGI stat, the Bear Sylvie Ana earrings, focusing on STR and AGI stats as well, and finally pairing with two Destruction Sylvie rings. In this build, you will maximize your physical attack stat to deal higher DPS. All these accessories can be purchased from the trading house, so be sure to get them if you have the gold. Now let's move on to the suffixes that you should use for your Physical Swordmaster. The main difference here will be the suffix that you apply for your armors. For a budget build, you will apply the Wind suffix on your helmet, shirt, pants, and boots to increase your AGI stat. For your glove, I recommend applying the 10th suffix, as Physical Swordmasters generally have lower magic defense. If you are going for the whale build, you will instead apply the Bear suffix on all your armors, while still using the same 10th suffix for gloves in order to increase your magic defense. As for the weapon, the best choice for a budget build is the Wind suffix, and if you are going for the whale build, you can use the Destruction suffix instead. For both builds, however, you want to apply the Iron Wall suffix for your gauntlet. The important thing that you should note here is that you will need 3rd stat critical heraldries if you are going for a whale build for you to hit the critical cap. I am not able to advise you on how many 3rd stat critical plates you will need, because it all depends on how much critical you have on your hidden potentials and the level of the heraldries that you will be buying. But as a general rule, make sure you have at least 68% critical for you to hit the full crit when going into raids like the Sea Dragoness. Meanwhile, if you are going for a budget build, there is no need for you to buy any 3rd stack critical plates since you will be able to get 68% critical fairly easily with your suffixes. Next up, let's talk about the hidden potentials. For your armors, necklace and earrings, the best hidden potential to use is the STR, AGI and max HP percentage to maximize your damage while having some HP to increase your survivability. This is the best hidden potential for both the budget build and the whale build, so your wallet is safe for now, whales. However, things get expensive for the rest of your equipment hidden potentials. If you are going for the budget build, you should be using the physical attack percentage, the STR and AGI percentage potential for your weapons and both rings. Meanwhile, for a whale build, you will need the physical attack and critical percentage hidden potential, which is more difficult to get and generally much more expensive in the trading house. However, having this hidden potential is crucial for you to hit the critical cap, so you need to spend that extra gold. As for your skill heraldries, I recommend equipping damage type heraldries for Triple Slash, Hacking Stance, Infinity Edge, and Line Drive. I recommend buying these heraldries directly from the trading house instead of farming it yourself. However, you should only buy them once you have decent gear, like the Manticore set with good enhancement levels, accessories, and hidden potentials that we talked about earlier. Skill heraldries should generally be bought only after you have built your character to a decent level. Finally, all the talk about gear is over. Let's now talk about the skill build. For the warrior tab, I mainly focus my skill points on Circle Break to level 11 and Rising Slash to level 6. The reason is because Circle Break deals a lot of damage and deals good AoE damage as well, so investing your skill points here is a good choice. Meanwhile, if you play PvP, having Rising Slash to level 6 is a good combo when paired with Aerial combo in the Swordmaster tab. Even in PvE, you can use it to stay in the air for a bit longer in case there is a stomp mechanic happening or you are stuck in animation using Rising Slash. As for the rest of the skill points, just make sure you maximize Tumble, Dash, Aerial Evasion, and Relief. You also want to learn Highlander as a warrior class because this can come in very handy in every single nest, as well as preventing your teammates from dying. Moving on to the Swordmaster tag. For a physical Swordmaster, you will pretty much ignore all the skills on the right side on your skill tree because these skills are for the magic Swordmaster. You should max out Provoking Slam and Brave since these are the main buffs for a physical Swordmaster. After that, you would want to invest your skill points in your 4 main skills. For me, I maxed out Hacking Stance and Line Drive to its highest possible level since these skills deal good amount of damage. I also learned Eclipse, Dash Slash, Dash Combo, and Aerial Combo because these skills are good for PvP as well as filler skills for you to use when your main skills are on cooldown. I also highly recommend getting Parrying Stance to at least level 1 because it can help you survive monster attacks and some boss mechanics for that extra survivability. Since physical Swordmasters generally do not have any damage reducing buffs or healing skills, getting this skill is especially crucial to prevent you from dying early in Nest. Now with that cleared, you can now move on to use your remaining skill points for Triple Slash and Deep Straight. If any of you are wondering what about expert skills and combined skills, I got you covered as well. For your expert skill, I recommend Provoking Slam as the first skill you learn. This debuff is super overpowered and will increase your overall DPS. After that, you can learn either Triple Slash, Line Drive, Deep Straight, or Hacking Stance to boost the damage of these skills. As for your combined skills, you can just max out your physical attack first for now and increase your critical if you have not hit the critical cap. Lastly, let's go over the skill rotation for a physical Swordmaster. Your main combo in general will look like this. You start with Provoking Slam, then Eclipse, and then Brave, followed up by 4 of your main skills which are Triple Slash, Deep Straight, Line Drive, and Hacking Stance. So let me explain in detail on the rotation order here. The reason we start with Provoking Slam first rather than using Brave is because the Brave attack boost only lasts for a short duration of 9 seconds, while Provoking Slam debuff lasts for 15 seconds. You want to make sure that you are maximizing your Brave buff by using it just before you start dealing damage with your main skills. Before using Brave, you can also add in an additional step by using Eclipse to cancel the full animation of Provoking Slam. Why do we do this is because the debuff of Provoking Slam is activated the moment when the first slash animation hits the enemy, so you can cancel it using Eclipse, follow up by Brave to further maximize the effects of your debuffs and buffs. Once your debuff and buff has been activated, you now start using your 4 main skills. If the monsters are not dead by now, follow it up with Circle Break and then use your ultimate while waiting for your other skill cooldown to be ready. Anyways guys, I hope this video has helped you to build your Physical Swordmaster. This is Zen, signing out.